doing this afternoon? I'm really, really stoked to be live with you this afternoon. I'm coming to you to just discuss branding and how important it is for your copywriter website from the beginning. So much so, I've included, excuse me, just get myself comfortable. I've included a link to a freebie that I created this week in response to thinking about this process. For me, I've made quite a few websites, and it's always part of my process. Actually, to be honest, it's the beginning. I don't know whether you're the same way. You look around you online and you see sites that you are really quite just like inspired by, and you collect all these ideas together. And I know I start off with some like snips on my desktop, or I might like take a screenshot and just come back to it later and look at it on my phone, then compare online. So what can we do to make our branding consistent right from the start? Well, there's an easy way of doing it. I've created a training for you so that you can be visible on all platforms. And, like your audience are going to recognize it's you from your images, from your fonts, from the way that you talk to your audience. Okay, so let's dig in. Number one, the part of the training is a branding kit. So we're going to go into Canva. We're going to create you a mood board and an ideas board of what you've seen around you. And so then hammer it down so that you can then think, right, what colors do I like? And then set up a brand kit. Okay. You can also download this so you can share it with anybody else. So our brand kit contains your ideal colors, like I've just said, and a selection of fonts for the different headings that you're going to use on your website as well, and in your messaging, if it's possible, anywhere else, even like in print as well, so it's all consistent. Okay, so that's number one. That's the first thing. And then number two, I created you a little mini training on how to find your brand voice and your unique selling proposition. So dealing with the unique selling proposition first. It is really, really hard. I don't deny this, right? Even as a copywriter, even as a new copywriter, you're going to find this bit tough. So what I've done is I've helped you with like an easy to follow activity to try and get you to write a few of these, so then you can pick the one that really resonates with you, that sounds like you the most, and why you are most different to everybody else that's offering copywriting services. Okay, so if you're finding it hard, I get it. I'm with you on that. Everyone does, because it's them. It's, you might have created it for someone else and it's easy, but just go with it. It'll be absolutely fine. Right, and then from that, we can create a brand voice. So it might be that you go with the kind of words that you use. But what we tend to do is, with a brand, we pretend it's a person. So what would you say? What would you not say? Possibly a bit easier, this one, for your copywriter website, because you are actually a person that is behind the brand. So if you follow the brand voice guide step by step, you will come out with a clear idea of how your brand sounds in the online space. So then you can get it consistent across your website. You can get it consistent across the platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Okay. Right, and then finally, following on from that, you can do yourself a tone guide, a website tone guide, so that whoever it is that's writing, you don't know how quick you're going to scale your business. Hopefully it's going to be so quick. Anybody would be able to write within the same tone, okay, the same kind of messaging. So I have detailed how you do that as well in the free training. The link is at the bottom of the video, so hit that link and then you can get access to that training. I think what you'll find is you'll have a real clear picture then of how you want your brand to look and feel. If you're still tweaking around, that's absolutely fine, but know this, like, you've made progress. You actually made some key decisions, and that's really, really important. So all I'd say to you is just plodding, just keep doing one action step a day at a time, even if it takes you like 3 or 4 days to work through this. It is I think it's best to do that, because then you can review and think, right, well, does that branding really sound like, does that branding really look like how I want it to? Does that messaging really sound how I want it to? And really just assess that way. Okay, if you want any more tips, I'm going to be running a webinar next month, all about, like the best and the easiest ways to set up your copywriter website. It's been in response to so many questions that people have been asking. They want a streamlined way of doing this. They don't want to be messing about trying to find, lots of free information online. They want to get it right the first time rather than paying an expensive designer, maybe. Okay, so there's another link to that webinar. It is not going to be a Christmas, guys, because we really need a break. And maybe you're learning copy, maybe you're setting up, like your pitch templates and things like that. You've got enough to do. So we will meet for, join me for a webinar. They're mid-January. Just take a look in the link and just go through which webinar you prefer, and I shall see you there. I'd love you to join me. So many tips and tricks from what I've learned so far as a copywriter and web developer. I assure you will have a great time in there. Okay, right. I'll speak later.